Just like 90% of your mom's body weight, I'm back. Back with another juicy ass video for y'all wild freaks out there. Last time we took a look at Sonic Unleashed, which you all love by the way, thanks to that. And as promised, we're gonna take a flight back to 2010 and take a look at my third favorite 3D Sonic game. But around that time, Super Mario Galaxy 2 just dropped, Justin Bieber Balls did not drop, and Uncharted 3 was just announced. And for Sega, they locked in and cooked. No gimmicks, no padding, no bullshit. This tried and true grade A Sonic platforming, my boys. They went back and stripped away all the stuff that players disliked about 3D Sonic game, or what IGN told them to dislike. And unlike Black Widow, they stuck the landing with Sonic colors. I look at this game as Sega doing the bare minimum for a Sonic game, so they won't piss off the fans like they did last time with the Werehog. And that ain't a bad thing, because they did it and they did it right. And they gave the fans what they wanted. High speed action, yes sir. Excellent platforming, yes sir. Slapping good music, yes sir. Coochie, yes sir. This game checked all the boxes for what a Sonic fan was craving for the longest while. And on November the 11th, 2010, for the Nintendo No So Truce, we were given Sonic Colors, the Sonic game that the franchise needed. So take a deep breath,
Spread them cheeks for me.
and organize yourself for brunch, because as per usual, your boy is about to cook. So what's new with Sonic Colors? Well, the whole damn voice casts. Because around this time, Sega did an entire overhaul of the voice cast for the Sonic franchise. All except Mike Pollock, rightfully so. Because I can't see anyone on God's green earth voice acting Dr. Ozempic over here. But unfortunately, that means we gotta say goodbye to Jason Griffith and hello to Roger Craig Smith. And by the sound in my voice, you can tell I did not like him at all. I remember my dumbass was waiting patiently for some type of gameplay to drop or cutscene or something, just so I can finally hear what this faker sounds like. How dare you stand where he stood? And indeed something dropped, and I was disappointed because it was just like a 15-second clip of Planet Wisp, and the most you can hear is Sonic grunting, just like Shannon Sharp live on IG. But rewind 7 days before the release of Sonic Colors, where Sega dropped their attempt to force their fans to buy shitty Xbox controls in the form of Sonic Free Riders. And it was then and only then my eardrums was defiled by the vocal cords of Roger Craig Smith.
Make sure you take enough time to tune up your gear, okay, Sonic? You always leave all the tech work to me.
I for you know 4D's on the G. I jam into the bloody
So hear me out, I'm not saying he's a bad voice actor or anything like that, but the neck-cracking whiplash I got going from Jason to Roger was weird. Jason Sonic is much more of a caring and soft-spoken and genuinely sounds like a nice person to be around. Roger Sonic on the other hand, just like Sexy Red's insides, he's always 100% cocky. Every second he's on screen, he gotta make some lame-ass cringy-ass joke like calling Eggman Baldy McNose here. Or the worst offender, you just missed
the BBBE. Best boss beating ever.
Man, what the fuck is you talking about?
What the fuck was that?
I'm sorry, man. No,
I
I wasn't thinking about it.
No, I don't know if to blame Roger or the writing staff, but some of the dialogue that had Sonic saying was like that Jimmy and Jay match at WrestleMania. Straight ass. But for Roger's first portrayal of the iconic character, they did him dirty with some of that writing. Because instead of making Sonic look and sound cool, he just came across as an asshole. Speaking of writing, we gotta dive into the story of Sonic Colors, because just like the US baby oil supply as of recently, there barely is any. So Dr. Blubberback says he wants to turn over a new leaf and atone for his past transgressions by gifting the entire planet an interstellar amusement park. Blood think he's Majin Vegeta or something. But any dumbass with 2 brain cells or even dumber, a OnlyFans subscription, could see this whole operation ain't shit. So it's up to Sonic and Tails to go investigate what the hell is really going on. And in terms of Eggman, build this entire amusement park through the power of, get this, slavery. Yes, hardcore old-fashioned slavery. Uncle Ruckus would be proud. So these little bitches called Wisp were captured by Dr. Wailord and the Big Back Brigade and sucked off their energy called Hyper Gohan powers. But his plan is to use their energy to power a mind control device to take over the world. And it's up to Sonic and Tails to travel to 6 main plants of the amusing park, shut it down, and then go all Abraham Lincoln and Eggman's ass and free the slaves, the Wisp, and emancipate their homeworld from its vile colonizing clutches. And basically that's it. Simple, easy to understand, and not that much. And honestly speaking, not every Sonic game gotta have some deep philosophical story that's gonna have you questioning your existence by the end. So if you're looking for a story as deep as Sonic 06 or to a lesser extent, Sonic Unleashed, this ain't for you bruv. Go watch One Piece or something. And understandably so, because for Sega, they gotta put a lot more time into their gameplay so they won't fumble it. Okay, you see in the thumbnail of this video it said Sonic Colors is perfectly mid. That is not an insult. That is the best way I could describe the gameplay. It is straight 3D and 2D high-speed platforming. So we got 6 worlds to race through, 6 acts apiece, and that is the most I've ever seen in Sonic history. So let's break it down. First off, Sega wasn't playing no games out here, because as you press new game, no cutscene, no briefing, no intro, nothing. It's just a loading screen and boom, you're in Tropical Resort Act 1. That right there is performance. And in terms of controls, the majority of Sonic's base moveset was carried across from the prior game, with some minor changes here and there. Like for example, Sonic being able to lightspeed dash on his own, gone. Being able to drift at any time, gone as well. Being able to quick step at will, just like Ice Spice's fat ass, gone. The only notable addition is Sonic's jump, because this time around it operates like a pair of tits, meaning there's 2 of them now. And for the first time ever, Sonic is able to double jump. It's not perfect, but it's damn sure gonna save your ass from some bad decisions. And of course, the boost returns. It is not as cool and not as fast as the Unleashed version, because yeah, what the hell is this boost aura? Out of all the games that utilizes the boost, visually, this is like the boost from Teemo. At least it looked way better underwater. Also, gone of the days of ring energy, because now Sonic is puffing on that galaxy gas and utilizing alien energy. These aliens, called Wisps, is the source of Sonic's powers this time around. White Wisp fills the boost gauge and you can find them in capsules or in random enemies. In terms of the colored Wisp, we got Cyan Laser that turns Sonic basically into light and shoots him off at the speed of a laser. Self-explanatory. Yellow Drill that drills through soft surfaces like dirt, cake or even underwater. Pink Spike that makes Sonic cling to walls and ceilings and actually gives him back the ability to spin dash. Orange Rocket turns Sonic into a rocket and shoots him off in the opposite direction of Concord sails. Blue Cube turns Sonic into a cube, which in turn gives him the ability to change these big blue rings into cube platforms and vice versa. Green Hover gives Sonic the ability, surprise surprise, to hover and also to light speed dash along a trail of rings. Purple Frenzy basically turns Sonic into Rob Wave, because bro be eating everything, including ass. And this colorful bunch right here is the bread and butter of Sonic Colors. When they are used on a level, they are never forced nor do they slow down the gameplay. They always enhance the experience. Just like my face in between my wife's ass cheeks, they fit perfectly into Sonic Colors from a story and gameplay point of view. They are never overused nor are they scarce. This game strikes the perfect balance of introducing ideas and using them wisely. And I can actually say Sega learned from their past mistakes by not alienating the players with drastically different playstyles from what they are accustomed to, but instead use the best parts of the prior game and utilize it as a foundation and build upon it in ways that does not take away from the core mechanics. And I say all of this and give Sega their props for coming up with a winning formula for their games, yet they still went on to make Sonic Lost World and Forces. Lost World wasn't bad or anything, it's just that they tried something new that no one asked for. And just like Two Cheeks, it was ass. But you know what was also ass? The fact that they market Sonic Colors as a 3D Sonic game, while 90% of the levels are in 2D. And it is a common trend going forward with a lot of other Sonic games. Generations was the only one that actually respected the player and gave us some good 3D sections, because they already had classics to hold us down in the 2D department. Thank God for Shadow Generations, we can finally get fully 3D levels. Because just like Crash Bandicoot 4, it is about time. But hey you, yes you, the viewer, you want some life-changing advice? Then subscribe to the channel. Do it! It will look great on your resume. But anyways, you know what is another strong aspect of Sonic Colors? The soundtrack. You ever wanted to experience an orgasm through all 5 senses on your body? Just listen to any song from this game and I sure your undies will be moist in a few seconds. Guarantee. From Aquatic Park, Tropical Resort, or even the final boss Phase 2 track, which is an orchestra of the main theme, which is the last time Sonic Team decided to do that for a Sonic game, which is sorely missed. Or even give us a main theme to begin with. When was the last time we get one? Forces and Fist Bump is trash. The only memorable thing about this song is me mishearing the line of "No one's gonna give a thing to us, into each other we put our cocks." And if that's the only thing I can remember you by, well, it's best you don't have a theme song to begin with. But anyways, for colors, if you're looking for something a little more calming and soothing, well, Planet Wisp map music got you. Oh boy, that right there is better than 6. And then we got Starlight Carnival, that also got some good tracks as well. But one track that stood with me for years is the Starlight Carnival Asteroid Coaster boss theme that always get me pumped. And speaking of Sonic Colors bosses, Dookie Cheeks. Cause I can't think of a better phrase to describe it. You thought Lost World had trash bosses? Sonic Colors was like, nah bruh, let me cook. And had no damn ingredients because all except one of the bosses is undeniable grade A steaming bucket of unholy ass. Besides the final boss, there are only 3 bosses that are used twice. Sega ain't beating them lazy allegations with this one because it is beyond me to defend it. Out of the 3, the only acceptable one is the Starlight Carnival Asteroid Coaster boss. The other 2 bosses as weak as Mike Tyson's knees during that Jake Paul fight. Also, the Egg Nigger Wisp would have been a lot better if Eggman utilized all of the color powers against Sonic. But this fight, although very simple, was a nice way to cap off the game. Side note, was it just me that used to not attack Eggman after the homing attack sequence so the boss music could sync up with the final color blaster? And that move, good lord that move. I always thought that was the coolest shit ever back in the day. And honestly, it was a nice change of pace from the usual supersonic flying through the boss's skull to end the fight. But Final Color Blaster, I would love to see this move make a return somehow. No. A matter of fact, no. Because that means you gotta bring back Wisp, so hell no. But overall, the Egg Nigger Wisp, good ass boss in my opinion. Too bad Colors said to Lost World, yeah, you could copy my homework, but let's change it up a little bit. With that rinky-dink goofy-ass Teletubby-looking ass robot, and Forces dumbass copied off of Lost World with that booty hole of a boss battle. The music was good, don't get me wrong, but Sega, pack that shit up little bro, because you're heading to Lazy Tongue jail because ain't no way. Y'all thought you all could get away with this because recycling bosses is your specialty. But I can't be too hard on Sega because they were in the rebuilding stage of what the internet like to call the dung period of Sonic, after the negative reception of Sonic 06 and Unleash. And I had to say, they did a damn good job, because Colors was widely accepted as a good Sonic game. I don't know if it was because the fans were so starved of good Sonic gameplay with no wild gimmick that they would consider anything a good game, or if Sonic Colors was just that damn good. It's a treat to play, the gameplay is solid, the story is simple, and the levels are amazing. And it takes you back to those classic days of high-speed platforming. It even has an extra co-op mode in the Sonic Simulator, which you can gather all the Chaos Emeralds and even unlock Super Sonic. A playable Super Sonic. When was the last time we got shit like that? Sonic 3, I think? But all in all, Sonic Colors was a nice course correction for the franchise, although it went off of course many times after this. But from the looks of things right now, they're back on track. And it's safe to say the hot streak Sonic was on was carried over into Sonic Generations. Because that game came out in 2011 and it fed families, because it was just that immaculate. But I'm not sure I will be reviewing that next because I gotta take a break from this blue asshole for a while. So next, I got some monkey business to attend to in the next video. So if you wanna hear me yap on about Sonic even more, in the meanwhile, watch this video right here.